Welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys have already grabbed a cup of coffee or tea for the next presentations, where we have Mr. Vikas Swalka, who's the General Manager for Reliance Industries Limited, joined with Mr. Sanjeev Prasad, who's the Vice President for and the Plant Head for Reliance Industries, joining us. I would request both the presentation. It's a joint presentation from them, and I would request Mr. Sanjeev and Mr. Vikas to please start their videos and unmute themselves. Looks like the presentation is already there. We can start with the session. Over to you, Vikas ji and Sanjeev ji. You can open, yeah. Please open the presentation and so that we can start with the session. Yes. Requesting you to put it on full screen. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Over to you.
Good afternoon, all attendees and all senior professionals of various power plant. Myself, Vikas Swalka, and Shri Sanjeev Prasad ji are very grateful to Mission Energy Foundation to provide us opportunity to participate in this event. We both are representing Reliance Industries Limited. These are some highlights of our Reliance Group. Reliance has built 3 new mega growth engines in a single decade. Jio Digital Life, Reliance Retail, Reliance O2C. And significant recent investment from leading global strategic and financial investors like Facebook, Google, Aramco and Bharat Petroleum. And some exciting outlook for every business. Our geographical location is Dahej, which district is Bharuch, and nearest airport is Vadodara and nearest railway station is Bharuch. This is our Dahej manufacturing division integrated operation process flow. So left side we are seeing our inputs, or we can say raw materials, and middle integration of our utilities with our process plant, and finally then right side our product and byproducts. Coal-based captive power plant vision and mission. Our vision is achieving and sustaining championship in CFBC technology within Reliance Group and to be recognized as role model in international benchmark. And our mission is to partner in the growth of our organization by generating and supplying steam and power on sustained basis with continuous improvement for cost leadership. This slide shows our coal-based captive power plant process flow. We have total numbers of 4 numbers of boilers, CFBC boilers. Each capacity is 500 tons per hour, and 3 numbers STG. Each capacity is 90 megawatt. For coal unloading, we have also storage yard for 1 lakh ton coal we can store at a covered shed. We are also using lime for control the SOx emissions and using bed material for boiler. All utilities are come from our process complex plant. Actually, we are generating steam from boilers and supplying steam and power to our process plants. We have 220 kV power to AIS for complex distribution and 33 kV power to our chloralkali and CPP3 through PST transformer, and 33 kV power connection for internal consumption through our SST. We are fully focused for our improvement to plant availability and reliability factor. As shown in slide, last year our plant equipment availability was 98.5% and reliability was 99.9%. So many initiatives and best practices we have adopted to reach this number. These are some major initiatives and best practices. First is sustained benchmark availability and reliability in CFBC and STG operation. Second point is steam pressure control automated through MHPC, main header pressure control, critical steam and power consuming plant upset tripping response of steam and power system is managed through our automated action.
I want to just interrupt, sorry, Vikas.
Yes, sir.
See, when we say MHPC, it is main header pressure control. Entire process itself is automated under normal circumstances. All the boiler will be controlled by a process controller, whereby the pressure will be maintained. Normal pressure is maintained at around 108 kg, and even with process upsets, whereby our grid we continue to supply at around 1100 tons out of the 2000 ton capacity. 1100 ton is the steam that we supply, and a process upset means steam flow of 200 tons goes up. So with 200 ton load coming on the boiler, 500 ton each boiler and loaded to roughly around 275 to 300 tons. These boilers response are such that they have been tuned in a manner so that the pressure does not fall by 2.3 kgs when in an upset. So power and steam, it becomes very critical when it is supplied to a petrochemical complex. Any variation leads to loss of huge sums of money in terms of products that we make. Similarly, power tie line control. We are always connected to the grid. So trickle power that flows to the grid is lost to us. So in order to not flow out, so that is controlled through our trickle power control. Periodic trial of full capacity of CFBC and STG. This is like every month we have got one CFBC and one STG. So literally every quarter you'll have a STG trial, and every 4 months you'll have a CFBC trial. If one CFBC is tried in January, it will be tried again in May. So that is the way we are trying to maintain the capacity, maintain the reliability, and identify the problems. Because you may continue.
Okay, sir. These are some utilization of biomass as alternative fuel. We are using imported coal, which are supplying from Indonesia, South
PPT
Africa.
is not seen.
PPT. Now it is visible?
No.
You have to share it again, Vikasji.
Okay. Now it is visible?
Wonderful, absolutely.
Okay. So there are some cost saving initiatives also taken in during last year and continuing this year also. First point is utilization of biomass as alternative fuel. Biomass co-firing trial along with coal in boiler. We have started biomass consumption in 2 numbers of boiler at 10% mixing rate, and we also reached up to ramp up to 15% by energy. And approximate saving on coal buying equivalent to 17,000 million kilocalorie per annum, and main benefit is CO2 reduction by approximate 105 ton per annum. Second initiative has been taken, bed ash recycling quality improvement. We are recycling our generated bed ash from the boilers, and bed ash segregation as per recycling quality parameters and improves recycling of the bed ash. So recovered 3,655 metric ton bed material through recycling. CFBC boiler bed material alternative. Earlier we were using crushed refractory. Then we have changed this from crushed refractory to washed natural silica sand. There is a major cost reduction from 3,300 rupees per metric ton to 2,200 rupees per metric ton, and achieved annual saving of approximate 500 crore. Here I want to share a case study, use of biomass as alternative fuel in CFBC boilers. Generally, in stoker fired boilers, there are many plants who are using biomass as alternative fuel. But there is a technology difference in CFBC boiler. All bed material and our furnace remain in fluidized condition, and biomass is a low density fuel. So many modifications and improvements has been carried out for use of biomass. So first question is why we use biomass. So biomass is an alternative fuel. Second one is it is a renewable energy and also help to reduction in CO2 emission, as this considered is a carbon free fuel. Also we can avail RPO, ED and PET scheme benefits. So first we have taken a trial in our
Presentation.
okay sir. Now visual sir.
Yes.
Okay. For trial of biomass uses, these are our approach. Point 1, study of available literature and papers regarding usage of biomass. So we can collect the
See,
required
it
information.
is because largely the biomass usage is limited to 15% at most of the places. That is what we have come to know in India. Most of the users who are using biomass are limited to 15%, and we are trying to establish that biomass usage limitation will not be there. We can reach a maximum number as much as possible. Current targets being around 35 to 40% without any significant modification in the existing facility. So for that, we have gone around through a lot of literature, talked to as many people who are experts in the area, are still to hire few of them when we are looking at moving beyond, and if we need certain modifications, while our boiler does not sacrifice. Continue, Vikas ji.
Okay, sir. We explored the biomass briquettes availability on nearby area. Then we arranged to chemical analysis of vendor samples. Then selection of biomass based on quality. We prepared a methodology for proper storage, reclaiming and blending with coal. We also prepared action plan, specification of briquettes, SOPs, log sheet and checklist. When starting delivering biomass from vendor, so we started analysis vendor wise, and trial started in a CABC boiler with 10% of coal quantity for a week. We recorded and monitor all key operational and emission parameters on hourly basis. During trial, chemical and physical analysis like bed and fly ash, coal plus biomass mixer daily basis. In a step of 2.5%, every week we ramped up biomass quantity up to 15% by energy. Through analysis of parameters, chemical analysis results, and physical inspection inside the boiler, thorough analysis of all parameters. These are some biomass which we have used. First is groundnut, which base content was groundnut, but we experienced a mixing of cotton stalk, fiber and green plant stem material, which resulting was choking of our grizzly while feeding. So we have taken action for smooth feeding, pre-mixing of coal plus biomass. Mixing of sawdust, so high dust observed during feeding. To avoid dusting, we use DFDS, our dry fog dust separation system. Second type of biomass was coriander plus cumin. Our experience was we received high free chlorine material. So control the chlorine percentage, we have taken action for blending with low chlorine material. And third type was other agriculture residual, which contain high alkali and chlorine. So restricted percentage of use of this type of material. Main challenges during trial, first of all, biomass delivery, storage and preparation. Biomass supply in open trucks against our installed system to handle dumpers. So solution was extra unloading machine required. Second challenge was supply in bags causing jamming in chutes. So for separation, manual handling required. Briquettes deformation due to loose bond leading to dust. So we controlled from our DFDS system. Required area was more required as biomass bulk density is very lower. So more space developed for storage and handling. Fifth challenge for preparation, tendency to deteriorate quality. So we adopted method first in, first out, and also storage duration limited. Second area which was main challenge, quality. As I told, high free chlorine material, high acidic and high basic oxide material we received. So ramp up is being planned depending on mixed fuel quality derived. And third main challenge is quantity. As we know, low production of biomass briquettes, so we explored multiple vendors, and this is also seasonal availability for biomass, so we have planned for long time storage. These are main analysis which we have carried out. For chemical analysis, each vendor wise composite sample, we collected data for proximate and ultimate analysis, ash elemental analysis, oxides in ash residual. Also we analyze ash fusion temperature, free chlorine and bulk density. And also we physical observation for physical condition, moist, loose bags, packed, etc. And size of briquettes, crushed shredded size, presence of fibrous and oily material. So every truck and dumper supply material physical observed, These are main key learnings during trial. HGCV of biomass. Volatile matter is higher than coal, but specific heating value of volatiles in kilojoule per kg is lower for biomass than coal. Biomass GCV is the range of 3500 to 3900 kilocalorie per kg. Fuel air ratio. Fuel air ratio, pressure and heating rate also significantly influence the release rate of heat to achieve uniform temperature profile in our furnace and boiler second pass. Up to 10% there is no requirement of air adjustment, but above 12.5% mixing, slight air adjustment carried out. And contaminants, alkali metals and high chlorine presence are main reason of slagging, fouling and corrosion. So reduce concentration of alkali material and high free chlorine by blending of low contaminants material. Ash melting temperature. The content of ash alkali metals, phosphorus, chlorine, silica, aluminium and calcium affect ash melting temperature. So we also analyzed for ash melting temperature and found ash melting temperature was just nearby our coal ash melting temperature. Bed ash agglomeration, sulfur and chlorine contain fuel ash, bed agglomeration and rate of fouling, deposit slagging and superheater corrosion. No agglomeration, fouling, deposit and corrosion observed during our boiler internal inspection. Refractory part, alkali related chemical attack on refractory and eroded refractory, sodium, potassium, calcium carbonate, sulfates and chlorides are main content for refractory and no erosion observed during our internal inspection. These are main best practices adopted. For monitoring, we close observe on our all flue gas and metal temperature measurements.
विकास जी PPT reshare करें.
Okay, sir. I think so. Visible?
Yes.
Okay. So some best practices we adopted during trial, just like monitoring. So we close observed all our key flue gas and metal temperature measurements, and our observation was furnace outlet and U-beam temperature increased by 10 to 15 degrees centigrade, and all skin metal temperature are within limit. Difference of ESP inlet and outlet temperature to be positive to prevent fire hazard in ESP. ESP inlet and outlet flue gas temperature delta was always positive in our trial, during our trial. Emission parameters, SOx, NOx and SPM. SOx and NOx reduction observed. NOx reduction due to reduction in bed temperatures, as biomass density is less, so it fire on our higher board elevation, and this may not be true for higher loads when temperatures are on higher side at U-beam. And for SOx reduction, as biomass contain low sulfur percentage than coal, so overall SOx was less. Effective working of soot blower or sonic horn. So we have sonic horn, our air preheater area, we find working normal. And analysis of physical appearance and chemical composition of biomass, bed ash and fly ash. We analyze on regular basis. No adverse changes seen in fly ash and bed ash on physical and chemical observation. Up to 15% of biomass by energy. boiler and crusher also inspected inside, and boiler inspected inside from during our IBA shutdown. No adverse observation found, and crusher internals also found normal. These are main benefits and our future plan. First main benefit is carbon footprint.
Vikasji, you cannot see your presentation, sorry.
Okay. Okay, sir, now visible?
Yes.
These are main benefits and our future plan. First main benefit is carbon footprint. This is a step towards achieving carbon neutrality, as biomass is a carbon neutral fuel. For RPO and ED benefits, usage of biomass to be ramped up in our all four boilers. For PET scheme benefits, usage of biomass to be ramped up also in all four boilers. For emission parameters, due to low sulfur in biomass, SOx reduction is there, and due to lesser temperature in bed during biomass usage, we observe NOx reduction, which both are main benefit. These are some other cost saving initiatives we have taken this year. First activity is ash conveying operation optimization. Earlier, our ash conveying process was based on timer basis, which we have converted to hopper level basis. So our compressor running time and ash handling system running time has been optimized. Second initiative is STG steam, atmospheric flash tank water recycling. Atmospheric flash tank some water diverted to cooling tower and utilized as our cooling tower makeup water. And third initiative has been taken steam losses through steam traps. Steam adder traps survey carried out and overhauling and repair activity has been done. Also carried out survey for compressed air, instrument air to know about losses, which has been reduced by attending all the leakages. And second, also one initiative has been taken, optimize compressor operation by reducing operating pressure from 8.5 kg to 7 kg. By these all four cost saving initiatives, we have saved 25,463 million kilocalorie per annum energy. These are some plant risk control measures. First point is dust control measures. To control dust, we have covered coal and lime storage with stockpile, also with equipped with dust suppression system. Dry fog dust suppression system for coal handling. Complete closed pneumatic ash handling system up to silo. Bag filters to control and collect dust from ash silos and crushers. For pollution control measures, we have online stack monitoring system, ESP with extra field to ensure stack emission to required levels. For SOx capturing limestone injection. Other measures, fixed firefighting network, FNG system for communication of fire alarms from various operating areas to CCTV control room, and also for central fire station. Continuous surveillance of the facility with a network of CCTV. Water recycling, 100% recycle of effluent along with utilization coal dust suppression. 31 sumps provided to collect all surface drain water and recycling. These are our accolades we received in the last 2 years. It is proud to say that we have completed incident free from commissioning days 1700 days. Thank you all.
Thank you, Vikas ji. Thank you, Sanjeev ji, for the joint presentation and taking us through how your plant and Reliance Industries moving forward towards it. I would request you to please click on stop sharing button. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Vikas ji, for the smooth presentation. Before we take any further question, we do have received few questions for both of you. But before moving that, I would request TurboTech engineers to please join us on stage to deliver the presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Please unmute your wonderful. Can you please share your screen? Okay, Prashant, are you there? Prashant Gaur? Mr. Prashant Gaur from KEPCO, are you there?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Audible?
What I would suggest you is please click on low definition. Look at the bottom where you will see a button which says HD. Click on it and select low definition.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It is
set it to
selected
low
in low
definition and we cannot see your screen for now.
It is selected.
Prashant Gaur, are you there? Prashant Gaur from KEPCO. No problem. I would request Sanjeev ji and Vikas ji to please join us on stage and turn on their video so that we can have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we have a question from Devashish Karmakar, who's a senior manager chemistry from NTPC. He's asking, can you details strategy of biomass handling right from receipt of material to firing? Vikas, I would request you to please turn on your video.
So if I got it right, he is looking for as to what quality control measures are provided up to firing.
Devashish, I would request you to click on raise hand so that we can have you on stage and you can directly ask the question. Devashish Karmakar from NTPC.
No problem, Akshay. Can you please repeat the question because I didn't.
I will repeat the question. So
Yes,
he's asking, can we have the detailed strategy of biomass handling right from receipt of material to firing?
See, the strategy I understand in terms is as to how do we handle the material such that the briquettes do not get damaged. To start with, as soon as we receive material at our place, there is a quality control measure in terms of we collect samples and the samples are analyzed. Samples are analyzed. Basically, what is more important happens to be our alkali content and the free chlorine content. See, alkali content and free chlorine content, it varies depending on composition. the industry to be not to be so rather I would say so harsh to the industry. It is not a completely organized industry, and there are a lot of small manufacturers who are there onto this. So it is slightly difficult for them to maintain composition in terms of exact numbers. So that makes it difficult. From there, the facility that we have is we mix this biomass along with coal. The mixing arrangement is we have got a bulk reception unit through which we feed the coal, and a reclaimer through which we feed coal through reclaimer, and through bulk reception unit we feed the biomass. Both of it is sent to the crusher, and post the crusher it is fed to the boiler. Currently we are using the coal crusher itself. We haven't placed any shredders or anything for this. We are looking forward to providing shredders as we increase on capacity. With these current capacities, we are able to handle everything. Yes, as Vikas told in his presentation, there is problem with certain things like rice husk and all, whereby there are straws, which does not get crushed and gets stuck up. So those problems are there. But with other type of biomass, we remain conversant, and we find it easy to handle.
I hope that answers his question. And we have two more questions from GGEL and NTPC Vidyachal. Before taking that, request Turbotech engineers to please open the presentation. We can see that you have shared the screen, but you have to minimize that and open the presentation that you want to deliver. Moving to the next question, we have Mr. Rajiv Kumar, DGM from NTPC Vindhyachal, asking, is any clinkering observed in boiler with biomass confirming?
No, absolutely no. No clinkering has been observed.
And another question from GGEL, chemical composition of natural sand silica, percentage of alumina and silica.
I do not have right away. I do not have in hand. Vikas, do you have it in hand?
Because we cannot hear you. Jayavardhananji, you opened the presentation, so you opened it. Do not close it. Open it again.
I see, sir, my presentation.
We were able, yeah. Keep it that way. Keep it that way. We will come to you once this question will be answered. Vikasji,
Okay.
are you able to hear us? We cannot hear you. Okay, no problem. The person who asked is Bharat Bhatia, engineer from GEL. Bharat, you can connect with Sanjeev ji and Vikas ji in the virtual
Yeah, we'll
tape.
be too happy to share that we do not have it available offhand. Otherwise, we'd have told you right away. We are looking for
Absolutely.
silica and alumina.
Yeah.
Silica is 95% and alumina is 1%.
I have that answers, and Bharat, you can later connect if required with our speakers. And I would request Sanjeev ji and Vikas ji to please mute, and we will have one session. And right after that, if there will be any question, we'll be happy to take it.
Okay.
Thank you. Jayavardhanan ji, you can start your presentation. What you can do is go to slideshow and start the slideshow. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I am
Yeah, you have to start the slideshow. Yeah, wonderful. Absolutely.
Disable my
Please
screen,
go
sir.
ahead. Do one thing. Jayavardhanan ji. You will see display settings on top. Can you see that? Display settings. Click on display settings and click on first button that comes. Yeah, first button. Yeah. Swap. Yeah. Yes. Please start your presentation. Jayavardhanan ji, we cannot hear you. requesting all attendees to share their questions with us, since we are taking questions for Vikas ji and Sanjeev ji. Please feel free to share your questions. Till the time we have a session. Till the time we, I guess Mr. Chandran is in very bad connectivity, Mr. Jayavardhanan. Till the time we see a raised hand from Debashish Karmakar. I'm handling him the stage. Debashish, I'm giving you an access. Yeah. Debashish, do you have any other question, or you are going to ask the same question?
No, thank you. It has been covered. I wanted to know the detailed strategy of handling the biomass. It is clear. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you so much. We received another raised hand from Ajay ji. Yes, Ajay ji.
Yes, I want to know for how many days you have fired biomass in your boiler, and have you seen any adverse outcome out of it? Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Sandeep ji, please.
We have been firing biomass since February, and it is May today. It's March, April, May. 3.5 months we have been firing biomass. No adverse effects have been seen on the boiler till now. We have inspected boilers. After that, 2 boilers have been inspected. We haven't seen any adverse effects till now. Although we may say that these are early days, so early we cannot say that if no adverse effects are seen, though no adverse effects will be there on paper parts, it may still take some time to see those effects. 3.5 months is too early.
Anything in the on the mill side, mill reject side, or reducing the mill inlet temperatures, or any fire incidents?
No.
And maximum blending is up to how much percent? 10, 15?
We have tried up to 20, but 20 we have not operated on sustained. We want to operate sustained on 20. And then we have got a strategy like in post 15, we wanted to increase by 2.5% every time to have a sustained performance information.
So when you increase biomass percent, what changes you are seeing in mill outlet or something?
We normally see we will be seeing that there are two. We do not have a mill sort of. We are a CFBC fired equipment, but what we see is in terms of as to what is the sizing, whether my grizzly is getting choked or not, whether I am getting free flow of material or not, whether the material is getting stuck up somewhere. In fact, of late we have seen as monsoon has started approaching, we had a cyclone, we had some amount of wet coal and all. With wet coal, yes, it becomes difficult to mix biomass. That is where we had a small problem there. Other than that, we haven't seen any problem. Feeders, yes, some amount of feeders choking and all we noticed when to start with. When the mixing blending is non-uniform, that gives lot of problems. With uniform blending, the problems remain minimal.
And storage is any issue of biomass storage, or you are directly firing it?
No, biomass storage, as of now, we are on limited amount of storage. We have gone up to 1,500 tons of storage. Beyond that, we need to create facilities because parallelly, we also have coal that is stored within the same shed. Within the shed, whatever space we had, we utilized that space. So we are storing up to 1,500 tons of biomass.
And no issue of supply of biomass?
There are issues. I told you the industry happens to be unorganized. You do not have suppliers who can supply consistently on a consistent basis, consistent quality, consistent quantity. So those issues are there. So we are struggling with it when we are trying to organize it as much as possible.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay, for joining us. And we have one more question before we move to the final speaker from Rajiv Kumar, who's asking, as biomass is more volatile material, what are the main parameters to be monitored as operation point of view?
As operation point of view for CFBC, we check our bed temperatures and all. Accordingly, the airflow is adjusted. The PA, ASA air balance is adjusted. Because of having high volatiles, we in fact have with biomass in mixed firing. We have tried our boiler on full load also, and with that we have seen improved performance only. So we did not see any problems with that in terms of volatile matter that is there. Yes, in terms of other composition that are there are certain nuisances that are there. In terms of you will find some mud getting in the material that creates some amount of problem. The straw sizing that is there, that creates some amount of problem, and improper composition if it is there. At times you will get material which has got chlorine, free chlorine, like mustard and all has got very high free chlorine. It goes up to 1%, 1 ppm, so which is too high. So that is not tolerable for any boiler. So there we have to look at it as to how it is to be blended such that the chlorine percentage is brought to acceptable limits.
Thank you, Sanjeev ji. I hope that answered Rajiv Kumar's question. And I would request if that we will be moving with the next presentation, and we receive any further questions, we'll be more than happy to share with you. Mr. Jayavardhanan ji, I would request you to please share your screen and start the presentation. Yeah, presentation. Yeah, it's getting loaded up. Just a second. Yes, we can see it now. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for Mission Energy Foundation. Random operation.
Jayavardhanan ji, please go ahead. You are on mute. Please unmute yourself. No, we can see the presentation. I'm saying please unmute yourself. Please go on slideshow. Looks like we are setting new record for bad connectivity, which is absolutely fine. Jayavardhanan ji, can you hear us? Okay, he disappeared. I can see Prashant Gaur. Prashant, are you there?
Sir, I am here, sir. Sir, can I show my presentation?
Prashant, can you hear us?
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, can I share my presentation?
You have to turn on your video first. Can you turn on your video?
Yes.
Okay, can you try sharing your presentation?
Okay, sir, I am trying.
Jayavardhanan ji, I would request you to go to a better internet connectivity till the time we deliver another presentation. Prashant, we can see your presentation. Moving forward, requesting all the attendees to join us, to be with us for the next two presentations, which is from KEPCO and Turbotech Engineers. Now we have Prashant Gaur, who's representing Turbotech Engineers with us. Prashant, over to you.
Sorry, sir. This is Prashant Gaur from the KIPCO KPS. Well, sir,
Yes, can you put it
voice
on
is audible?
can you put it on slideshow?
Sir, I am from my laptop. It is in the this presentation mode.
We can see
I think all
प्रशांत
side
आपका हम लैपटॉप
see,
देख पा रहे हैं. We can see that. आप इसका स्लाइड शो चालू करिए.
okay.
स्लाइड शो पे जाइए और चालू
Sir,
करिए.
in the presentation mode from my laptop.
सॉरी,
Already,
प्रेजेंटेशन आपका विजिबल है प्रशांत.
sir, I already my
आपका
laptop
प्रेजेंटेशन विजिबल है.
already the presentation. सर वही मैं क्या सर मैंने प्रेजेंटेशन मोड स्लाइड खोल दिया थी. Okay. So once I again.
Jagannathan ji, are you in better connectivity now? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Can you share your screen and try for the last time? Because if it's bad connectivity, we can continue tomorrow, but we cannot wait our attendees for this. Can you please try again sharing your screen?
Yeah, sir.
Prashant, you have to go to better internet connectivity. Your internet connectivity is very bad. Yeah,
Sir,
we can see the presentation,
Okay, sir,
Jagannathan
right.
ji. Please start.
Okay, sir. Voice is audible, sir?
Absolutely audible. Please.
Okay, sir. Thank you for Mission Energy Foundation to this opportunity for participation. Myself, Jayavardhan, Manager O&M Operation from Turbotech. Today I am presenting best practice for operation maintenance, what we are following it. Start with my company profile, Turbotech Engineers. Our Turbotech Engineers last since 10 years in the industrial, construction and testing, commissioning, operation maintenance for power sector. Our group of company, Turbotech Engineers and Turbotech Service. This is for overview for our business vertical. Operation maintenance, we taking care of captive power plant, cogen power plant, distillery unit, water treatment plant, construction field, mechanical, erection, testing and commissioning, electrical design and supply installation, turbine overhauling and servicing, annual maintenance for motorized valve, AMC, manpower supply for commissioning activities, project related, and other solar we are solar supplying and implemented solar plants project. I am taking care of boiler type single drum, water tube boiler, combustion type, circulating full days bed combustion, compact separate design. Operating pressure 109 kg per centimeter square, temperature 5. This is for standard O&M models. Under 5 model is there. Here our model number 4, engagement outsourcers, most of plant activities exclude captive spares and plant insurance in extra. This is for our O&M model. We have a 6 department: operational and efficiency, maintenance and overhauling, safety and environment, human resource, procurement and engineering, training and IR. This is for our plant efficiency last 5 years. Our plant design parameter 100% PLF, station heat rate 2790, auxiliary percentage 12.5. We achieved best auxiliary consumption for 2019 8.42, but 2020 due to COVID issue, auxiliary will be slightly higher side. Now 2021 auxiliary will be slightly higher side due to ambient temperature high in this June, slightly high in this June. Graphical presentation for efficiency parameter. We start with everyday safety. Safety first. We are maintaining the following safety practices: 100% work permit and loader system, PEPTAC and toolbox act daily activities, safety mark drill monthly twice, safety internal auditing daily as per schedule, department HODs, firefighting system healthiness checkup, safety committee meeting monthly once, award nomination for best safety follow-up, periodically full guard inspection and periodically smoke detector and medical checkup for all employees. Here I am showing the innovative power saving project. Here not I am discuss about VFD. Already we are installed most of equipment VFD. We completed. We discuss only innovative power project. Our plant operating with 2 compressor gas scanning system, one for instrumentation compressor. By energy saving purpose, we implementation logical sequence operation of pneumatic conveying system. Earlier it operating simultaneously multi-system. So after modification this logic, we reducing the auxiliary power consumption 420 unit per day and reducing the compressor air requirement and switch off the compressor. Two more feed pump as per implemented design during the design installation. After that, we take the initiative to single pump operation to 80% PLF by hydraulic modified. The design head pressure before 1700, after 1400 mmWc. Design airflow, design water flow 75, after 100 and 115. The reducing power consumption per day 420 unit per day, 4200 unit per day. The single pump operation from load PLF 60% to 80%, we achieved single pump operation. One of the best innovative project, emission control. Earlier plant designed with crushed limestone system. SOx emission limitation 1500 milligram per Newton meter cube. After that, pollution norms will be changed 600 milligram per Newton meter cube. So be difficult to achieve this parameter. We implementing crushed lime powder from SIMT unit for best SOx emission control. We achieved best SOx emission control already. Another project for auxiliary saving, air cool condenser and cooling tower, energy efficiency fan. Auxiliary reduction project done with better vacuum usability, reducing the fan hub area and weight of the fan, increasing the air intake to ACC. Another, Kadapa region ambient temperature always hot, especially for the month of March to May. So for high ambient temperature, vacuum drop leads to reduce the load. So avoid this condition, we innovative new project water mist spray system implementation. Vacuum stability during the summer period, consistent load for export the cement unit. Our main water source from mines, seepage water during the rainy season. Winter and summer water quality will be changed. So we do an upgrade project for water quality purpose, UF, SAC and SBI. After that, we increasing the OBR for a DM plant and reducing the chemical cost and reducing the water consumption. We optimize another project for optimize the PI airflow. Optimize the PI airflow and balance the OF airflow for best combustion. We achieved axillary reduction and reducing the refractory damage in the boiler. We facing our plant designed as a arrowhead nozzle. We facing the problem back shifting bed metal into wind box. During the trip of plant, this condition wind box air buildup valve open below the 35% PI airflow. We change it to 0 PI airflow. After that, it's better. We modified implementation boiler operation maintenance. Our plant running with the ideal mode operation with the cement unit. During the cement plant, uninterrupted frequently on-off tripping is happen. To avoiding, we provide the logic for startup control valve and fuel feeder. Auto operation. When load throw or breakers get open, to avoid excess pressure, automatic startup control valve will be open and switch off the fuel feeder combustion control with reducing the boiler excess pressure. Another one, we are creating the efficiency parameter and DCS better control for operator alert. Another logic feed water control system we modified. Recently we heard that especially CAPC boiler, cyclone separator got deformation during the water tube leakages. To avoid such a case, we creating satisfy both condition, drum level low as well as furnace top high feed water control valve supply cut off to boiler. Best implementation we done in STG operation. Siemens provided inbuilt exhaust pressure graphical versus load. This exhaust pressure required to varying the according constant vacuum stability for axillary reduction. So auto operation, it plant availability and reducing the specific consumption and reduction in power consumption. Another logic implementation done were condensate flow control valve. Especially our deretor is high pressure deretor, 9.5 kg, 7.5 kg. During the bleed cut or trip, that time deretor pressure maintenance is difficult to improvement. So by reducing the condensate flow to deretor, this we can balance deretor pressure. This implementation for BFD availability. We are best practice doing the operation and efficiency. We conducting the daily morning review meeting, addressing the defective equipment and troubles, discuss about previous day generation and parameter and targets. Review the plant performance parameter shift wise. We have a shift KPI. Every shift and shift in charge report with the operation head as well as reliever to achieve the KPI. And daily review the stream and water quality. Compare with the test report with online SWOT analysis. We conducting daily evening coordinate meeting, planning, and discuss about defect, updating. We also weekly spare meeting, review the store inventory as per requirement spare is available or not. Action taken, PR raised and PO status, material follow up with supplier, material payment issue clearance, and discuss every week in the meeting hall. Monthly nominate the safety. Monthly nominate the award distribution based per department. We conducting the training employee by monthly during per schedule. Review the department SOP absorption monthly. We are best practice in asset management, root cause analysis for failure, combined discussion with action plan, submitting the report, YOI, analyzing the report. We have addressing and review the housekeeping register and focus on housekeeping, maintain the good housekeeping, addressing the leakage and losses. We implemented checklist and review frequently. We are addressing and register the leakages and losses. It will be eliminated. Monitoring emission parameter, healthiness per ESP throughout the checklist. We are external services provided for foam cleaning, air cool condenser per yearly, DCS AMC per yearly 4 visit, and pressure vessel testing also by 6 months, safety valve servicing by yearly. Addressing the operating efficiency project, we identify the small or big operation efficiency parameter. We discuss with the client and approve and maintenance as per OEM schedule based on the running hour. We are doing the predictive maintenance, vibration analysis for equipment, thermography for boiler insulation, thermography for electrical panels and motors, turbine oil analysis, thickness mapping for boiler tubes, eddy current testing for condenser tube leakage. We are doing the corrective maintenance based on defect. Daily we have a defect register, defect, and as well as predictive and preventive maintenance feedback. We are taking the corrective maintenance. Another store management most important. Store inventory register, most of the spare, list out critical spare and non-critical spare, essential spare, repairable and non-repairable, price and delivery time. Maintain the equipment history card. The equipment history card daily updating. History card we find out the frequent trouble equipment and replace with the new one. Development of SMP. Identify the new SMP requirement for any requirement to process changes. Review and modify SMP suitable for changes. Practice the new development. We are conducting the training for all department, operation training, maintenance training, safety training by pre-scheduled monthly twice, department wise. Last time we participate CII Energy Efficient Award through client. We get Best Excellent Energy Award.
Thank you, Jayavardhanan ji. Wonderful presentation. And finally, we made it. Finally, we made to deliver the presentation. Thank you so much for that. Moving on, we have one question for you from Mr. Srinivasa, DGM NTPC Vindhyachal. He is asking, what is pneumatic ash system sequential operation?
Yes, sir. Earlier, we are operating the pneumatic conveying system timer based. After that, we find out the lot of air requirement. During the we install eight pneumatic gas conveying system. Simultaneously, we started a timer based all system. Air consumption will be more. So avoiding this sequential one by one, depend upon air level cycling. First field is high escalating. We given the time slot for sequential operation. Sir, clear?
I hope that answered Srinivasa ji's question. Thank you, Jayavardhanan ji, for joining us. Moving on, we have one more question from GGEL. What hydraulic impeller modified? Destaging.
Yeah, good evening. I am from the maintenance team. See, our BFP was been designed for 60% of loading, and when we saw at 20, that is 70% of PLF, we were supposed to run 2 BFPs. So we had approached the OEM, that is KSB. They had told us to, why don't we go ahead with remodifying the impeller design, which was giving me 36% of power saving, which was approximate 1.5% of my net auxiliary. So what they did is they modified the total impeller assembly itself with the shaft, and then with the same motor capacity, we are now able to load single BFP with 75% PLF, which was a huge saving. And we invested somewhere around 30-35 lakhs on that part, and the payback was around 7 months. Yeah,
I hope that answered Bharat Bhatia ji's question. If we do not have any more question, we will be moving towards the conclusion. Okay, so we are moving towards concluding the session. Thank you so much, Jayavardhanan ji, for joining us, and thank you, Vikas ji, Sanjeev ji, for patiently waiting. I hope we have received all the questions right after your presentation. But still, thank you so much for being with us till the last. And moving on, thank you to all the valued attendees who joined us for day one of Thermal Power Plant Operations and Maintenance 2021 edition, which we are doing as a virtual event because of the current scenario of COVID-19 pandemic. And this is the end of day one of the conference. Tomorrow we'll be moving towards the day two, where we will be having some amazing technical presentations that we are looking forward to, which is going to talk about predictive maintenance based on condition monitoring, efficiency monitoring and analysis, developing operations management system, what are the innovative O&M practices, and a very important highlight discussion on achieving 100% operational efficiency in TPPs from the industry leaders and pioneers and experts. Till then, thank you so much for joining us. Looking at the current scenario, I request you to stay safe, stay indoors, get yourself vaccinated. Thank you for joining us, to all the attendees and all the speakers. We'll be looking forward to connect with all of you. Same time tomorrow morning, 9:30. The registration link will be open. The platform link will be open, and we will start with the sessions sharp at 10. Thank you. Stay tuned. Have a great evening.